Coming up on the Daily O, a death row inmate granted clemency found unresponsive in his cell. We'll tell you what happened.
And an update on the dangerous gas leak in Weatherford, how the company involved is now being investigated. All of this and more is coming up. The Daily O starts now.
Welcome to the Friday edition of the Daily O. I'm Kendall May Stark.
And I'm Tyler Tripodi. We're glad you're with us. Just hours after his death sentence was commuted, Tremaine Wood was found unresponsive in his cell. Wood had met with his attorneys as they began the process of moving him off death row. He says he remembers lying down to sleep and waking up in the infirmary with his head and lip busted. The Oklahoma Department of Corrections believes he may have rolled off his bunk and onto the floor. Doctors say his episode was caused by dehydration and stress, with Wood saying he had not eaten since his last meal on Wednesday. Wood has since been released from the hospital and is now back in prison.
In Weatherford, evacuations are lifted and air quality is back to normal, but questions still remain surrounding the company behind the chemical spill. Wednesday evening, an air gas tanker truck began leaking anhydrous ammonia in a hotel parking lot, prompting mass evacuations. In total, 34 people were treated for injuries, but thankfully no deaths have been reported. Public data reveals a history of safety issues for the company, where the company has faced 12 severe violations directly related to its dealings with hazardous materials. Several agencies are now investigating the exact cause of the spill, including the National Transportation Safety Board.
Several candidates running to be Oklahoma's next state superintendent say they won't accept a massive pay raise approved this week for the position. A newly formed state commission voted to give salary increases to multiple statewide elected officials. This includes boosting the state superintendent's pay to almost $250,000 a year. That makes it the highest paid elected position in Oklahoma, even more than the governor. The raises take effect after the 2026 election, so no current office holder will receive them. But 3 superintendent candidates say they were surprised by the move and won't keep the extra money, with one calling the raise, quote, tone deaf.
Oklahoma students could see a longer school year. State Superintendent Lyndall Fields is proposing adding 15 days, bringing Oklahoma to about 180 days, matching the national average. Education leaders say the change is needed, with Oklahoma ranked 50th in the nation. The state currently requires 166 days, nearly 2 weeks less than many neighboring states. Some school leaders are now calling for a return to a full school year to help improve student performance. But others disagree, saying longer school days doesn't work because students stop absorbing material. Oklahoma once required 180 days, but after a major ice storm in the early 2000s, lawmakers shifted to counting hours instead. A change that was never reversed.
Well, that warm weather stuck around today, but will it cool down overnight? William Manziel is here with our evening forecast. Will, how's it looking out there?
Yeah, guys, we're going to see a bit of a cool down overnight, but for now, we're seeing warmer weather going into this week. But for right now, it's 78 degrees outside, and it feels just like it. And we've got our winds coming in, dying down a little bit from earlier at about 7 miles per hour from the southeast. But for right now, if you look over here on campus, you're going to see it's a nice, sunny, clear day with some warmer temperatures to be expected. Let's send it back to the desk.
All right, William. When we return, tribal leaders are continuing their dispute with Oklahoma officials over hunting licenses.
And OSU's new era began yesterday. We'll show how the impact has already started. The Daily O returns right after this.
Got a computer issue? Meet AB Computers, Stillwater's trusted experts in computer repairs. We understand how important your devices are to you. That's why we offer fast turnaround times, so you're never disconnected for long.
Hello, my name is Roger Smith. I'm the owner of AB Computers here in Stillwater. I offer excellent services for repairs, upgrades, custom build of systems. I do Mac and PC repair. I've got best prices on pretty much everything you can look for.
We service all types of computers, from PCs and gaming rigs to tablets and everything in between. Whatever your tech needs, AB Computers is your one-stop solution. Whether it's a locked screen, a sluggish system, or any other tech trouble, AB Computers has you covered. Visit us at 211 North Perkins Road, suite number 10, right next to Walmart. Our new location offers easy access and plenty of parking, making it more convenient than ever to get the expert help you need.
Ace in the Bowl salsa started many, many years ago. I was trying to find a recipe to take to a family gathering, and so I started messing around with different recipes, and I took a little bit from here and a little bit from there, and I came up with a salsa that is truly unique. Ace in the Bowl salsa is an olive oil-based salsa with tomatoes, green chilies, green onions, and black olives. There's no sugar added, it's gluten-free, low calorie, low carb, low fat, low sodium. So it's a very, very, very good alternative to any snack you may want. As of right now, I'm just looking to be in Oklahoma and having a successful business within the state. If my grandkids could ever take it over when they're old enough, that would be my dream.
A heated dispute over hunting rights continues in Oklahoma just as deer archery season hits peak. Governor Kevin Stitt has named a special prosecutor after Attorney General Gentner Drummond interviewed to drop charges against a Choctaw citizen accused of hunting without a state license. Stitt says that the state has the authority to prosecute non-major crimes inside Oklahoma and vows to pursue those who break the law. Drummond warned the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation that follows Stitt's approach could expose the state and its officials to significant legal and financial risk. The Attorney General has given the Wildlife Agency until Monday to rescind any directives targeting tribal hunters. Tribal leaders argue their hunting and fishing authority comes from treaties signed long before statehood.
In case you missed it yesterday, OSU has launched a new fundraising campaign called The Code Calls, aimed at raising $2 billion. That's billion with a B. The name is based on the Cowboy Code, a set of principles OSU students live by. The university has already quietly collected $900 million from more than 81,000 donors. President Hess says the goal of the campaign is for every student to have a renewable scholarship opportunity, with the first two awarded during the pep rally held yesterday. The campaign will now run until the summer of 2030.
Let's check back in with Will in the Weather Center. What are you seeing on the radar, Will?
Hey guys, looking at the radars we get into tonight, we're going to see some cloud coverage coming in up here into the state. It's going to come over Stillwater. We're going to see some clouds moving through, but other than that, not a whole lot going on. But as we go Saturday into Sunday, those clouds are going to keep moving over here to the east, and they're going to start leaving the state. We're going to start seeing some more clear conditions going on as those temperatures start dropping overnight. But as we move Sunday into Monday, we're going to see, once again, it's going to be pretty clear overall, but just to keep in mind, those temperatures are going to drop just a little bit on Sunday, but I can talk to you more about that when we get to our forecast later. But for now, some things I think you need to be looking out for. We're going to see some rising temperatures this weekend, and they're going to drop a bit as we get into Sunday, but they're going to rise right back up as we get continuing into the week. Our weekend is going to look pretty sunny, a little bit of cloud coverage coming through as you saw, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty sunny. And we got some rain chances later this week. That's looking like Wednesday, Thursday, some low to mid chances of rain going on. But once again, I can talk to you about that when we get to our forecast. For now, let's go back to the desk.
All right, well, we'll be on the lookout for those rain chances. When we return, Russian attacks in Ukraine continue. We have the latest on the impact.
And outrage over the recent Epstein emails released. We'll tell you what's being called for. The Daily O returns right after this.
We would design something, it was set on the counter, and people was either, if enough of them said, you know, this isn't it, it never made to the line. Dad was excited that they're all original. They were all designed on Mom's kitchen table, and it gets in your blood after a while.
We're very happy that Pamela and Michael have taken over the business and kept the family going.
We took the business over in 2017. When we found that it was available, we wanted to keep the legacy of family alive, but it was also incredible products that deserved to be a part of Made in Oklahoma's story. We were a part of Made in Oklahoma years ago. And so it kind of grew as Made in Oklahoma grew.
Oklahoma is ingrained into everything that we did. We've been here most of our life. That's what we entailed our whole business on, was the Oklahoma homegrown feeling.
Deep Fork Foods started in 2014. We started off with our nut products, and now we produce everything from jarred products to cookie mixes and pancake mixes and dried products for people, as well as our spice blends. Now we produce over 168 different products for ourselves and about 20 to 30 other companies in Oklahoma.
I'm Cindy Stewart. I'm one of the owners of Deep Fork Foods. We've gone from just making our own stuff and doing just small things to being able to co-pack and work with other companies and individuals within Oklahoma and across the United States as well.
I'm just really thankful for the journey that we've had so far and really look forward to the future where we're taking Deep Fork Foods and being able to provide more value for Oklahoma and its economy, as well as all the people within the state.
I love the opportunities that being in a food business provides. I absolutely love sharing food and good stories with people, so this just gives us another connection. And I can't wait to see where this path takes us with it.
Breaking news out of Washington as President Donald Trump has signed an executive order exempting a range of food imports from his reciprocal tariffs. These include coffee, beef, and bananas.
This comes as the president has come under criticism for high grocery prices, with the White House now saying certain agricultural products shall no longer be subject to the reciprocal tariffs.
Now looking toward our national headlines, at least 5 are dead and over 24 injured following the ongoing Russian attacks in Kyiv. Ukrainian officials say that 430 drones and 18 missiles were launched, leaving 15 buildings damaged. Sections of heating networks in the region went dark, meaning some buildings no longer have heat. Earlier this week, Ukrainian forces had to withdraw from several positions as Russian forces have launched more than 400 artillery strikes per day. Ukraine is also facing the potential fall of Pokrovsk, which could be one of the most serious defeats of the war yet.
Following the string of emails that were released, President Donald Trump is now calling on the Justice Department to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's relationship with other political figures. He is directing U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate Epstein's involvement with former President Bill Clinton and other prominent Democrats. This comes as emails released by the U.S. House Oversight Committee show Epstein claiming that Donald Trump knew of the abuse of minors, and he had come to his house many times during that period. In other correspondence, Epstein writes that Bill Clinton was never on his private island and attempts to distance him from wrongdoing. Trump says the Democrats are using this to deflect from the government shutdown and that this is another Russian scam.
Flight delays are expecting to last into next week. Lizzie Hoisington has the details in our political pulse. Lizzie?
Yes, Tyler. Travelers are being warned to expect flights to be canceled despite the end of the government shutdown. With President Trump signing a bill to end the government shutdown, airports will be back to weeks. The Federal Aviation Administration placed an emergency order to freeze flight reductions at the current level of 6%. The airports with the most cancellations are the Chicago O'Hare and the Denver International. While the flight reduction rate is set to decline, officials have announced that it may take days for airports to recover and get back to normal operations. With Thanksgiving less than 2 weeks away, officials are not expecting any lasting effects to continue into the holiday season. Well, that's all for the political pulse. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for that, Lizzie. Walmart has announced that longtime CEO Doug McMillon will retire at the end of January, coming as a surprise to some given the company's success. John Furner, Walmart's U.S. CEO, will assume the role of overall CEO on February 1st. McMillon will continue to serve in an executive and advisory role through 2027. He has held the role of CEO since 2014 and is only the 5th person to lead the company in its 63-year history.
A new rocket took to the sky, one step closer toward a mission to Mars. Blue Origin has launched its massive Glenn rocket for just the 2nd time, carrying a pair of NASA spacecraft destined for the Red Planet. The 321-foot rocket lifted off from Cape Canaveral after days of weather and solar storm delays. The twin Mars orbiters, called Escapade, will spend a year near Earth before using a gravity assist to head to Mars in 2026, arriving in 2027. They'll study Mars's upper atmosphere and magnetic fields to better understand how the planet lost most of its atmosphere. The mission costs just under $80 million and marks a big step in preparing for future lunar missions under NASA's Artemis program.
Oklahoma State cross country continued their postseason run this morning. Zach Berger is in the Sports Corner with how they performed at home right after this.
My name's Dennis Abernathy. Lived here since 1968, and I consider myself one of Stillwater's oldest original family jewelers. Here at Dennis the Jeweler, we're more about personal service. My father always told me that anybody can sell the jewelry, and what we're doing is completely different, learning to do the repair work. That is one thing that will keep your business alive, because anybody can sell it, but not anybody can fix it. To me, jewelry is very, very personal. Every piece of jewelry has its own story, and I get to hear hundreds of stories from my clients, which I love to hear. There's always a story with it. I mean, you buy a piece of jewelry for a show of appreciation, a sign of love. There are a lot of different aspects for jewelry when you purchase it.
My wife lived east of here, about 35, 40 miles, something like that, over at Lamont. I was dating her from over at Alba when we were going to college. I knew about the well then. It was a great well. It was great water. I'd stop there, stick my head under it, wake up, drive on home, that kind of thing. And people talked about bottling this water. And so that's why I started thinking about doing that. And so in 2003, the property come up for sale. And so we started working on that, had the opportunity to buy it. The hopes are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. This company means a lot to me because I guess we started it from scratch. And to be able to have it where it's at today, I don't see this as the end at all. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Welcome back to the Daily O and welcome into the Sports Corner. I'm Zach Berger. Thanks for sticking with us. It was history this morning for Oklahoma State cross country as they dominated here in Stillwater at the NCAA Midwest Regional. On the men's side, the one-seeded Cowboys remain undefeated and are now three-time defending regional champs. And he did it again. Dennis Kipengedich is a back-to-back-to-back winner on his home turf at this tournament. And the Cowgirls also carried the OSU dominance. 4 straight regional titles. Only the second women's team ever to accomplish this feat. Individually, the freshman Iska Schellengott takes it home with the 10th fastest time in course history. The teams now head to Missouri on November 22nd for the NCAA Championships. And hey, speaking of freshmen dominating in their sport, how about a little conference recognition for an OSU wrestler? Landon Robideau takes home Big 12 Wrestler of the Week honors. The 157-pounder had a huge collegiate debut last weekend, taking down Stanford's 4th-ranked Daniel Cardenas in OSU's season opener. The freshman dominated the All-American from start to finish, taking home a major decision victory. The Pokes are now 2 for 2 in this season's Big 12 Wrestler of the Week awards, with Zach Ryder taking home the first one last week. And OSU Wrestling now heads to Tulsa this weekend for the national duels, taking on some of the top teams in the country. For head coach David Taylor, he's not only excited for the event itself, but what it does for college wrestling.
As a sport, like I said earlier, like it's our obligation as coaches and as athletes and as fans to continue to move the sport forward. And this is a pretty awesome event. You know, like how often you get a chance to watch, like I said, 28 dual meets in one weekend. You know, how many high-level matches are you going to watch? So just supporting that goes a long way. It goes a long way to supporting all of our programs, the athletes that are part of our programs. You know, we want to move our sport forward, and there's always a lot of conversation around that. Well, then we have to do it, you know, and we have to support these things. And I think that's really important. You know, getting this event started and off to a good start, it's going to be great for the sport of wrestling. And as anything else, you know, you got to start, and then you can grow from there. And but overall, really excited and looking forward to the opportunity.
Now we got a couple more big matchups for some Cowboy squads over the next 2 days. Like we just mentioned, Cowboy Wrestling in Tulsa for the National Dual Tournament. 13 of the top 16 teams in the country participating in this event, and the Cowboys open the tournament against number 12 Cornell tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. This is a 2-day tournament for the Pokes with morning sessions and night sessions if they advance. Then Cowboy football is coming off the bye week to take on Kansas State. While the Cowboys looked better 2 weeks ago, they're still winless in the Big 12 over the past 2 years. Can they take down an up-and-down K-State team? We shall see at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Finally, Cowboy basketball looks to stay undefeated for their in-7 day against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Pokes off to a strong 3-0 start this season and hope to continue it Sunday at 1 p.m. Well, that's all we have today from the Sports Corner, but don't go anywhere. An ancient discovery is redefining the way scientists study DNA. Kendall and Tyler have it right after this.
I'm Travis Taylor. I'm the general manager for the Hotel Indigo Tulsa Downtown. I have a real good understanding of the food scene in Tulsa, and I've loved to see the way it's evolved over the years, and I'm glad to be part of it.
My name's Kevin Kyle. I'm the executive chef. I started here, the idea was to do something local. Everything that we try to do has Oklahoma products.
Tulsa is a big oil boom when we were the oil capital in the early 1900s. How Route 66 put Tulsa on the map. And the menu around that was, well, what would an oil worker take out in their lunchbox? That's how Prospect kind of came from.
We never get crazy busy, so we can do a lot of different things with food. And we can do things like wine dinners and have local dinners. We have a private dining room that people can come.
I think being at the heart of the old Route 66 has kind of weighed into us getting a lot of different things brought in from different areas of the United States. When I taste something on our menu for the first time, the first thing I go is, that's Tulsa.
My name's Kayla. I've been here since the beginning, so 4 years. Scratch is more focused on farm and mostly made in Oklahoma products, keeping it local. Sustainability is our biggest thing. That's one of the reasons why this place opened.
I've been the chef here at Scratch for 2.5 years. Started here as a line cook. Our food and drinks are a bit separate entities almost inside the restaurant. So the food is now up to 85% of the products we bring in are raised or grown locally. It's all based off of things that I grew up eating in southern Oklahoma, the things my grandparents ate.
About fresh food, clean food, organic food, sustainability, that's all of our thing. From front of house to back of house, we're able to maintain both with freshness. But made in Oklahoma means we get it straight from the farms that are 20, 30 minutes, another little county away. We get it straight from them.
Hi, welcome to Sugar Llamas.
Well, I'm the owner of Sugar Llamas here in Stillwater. My name is Chad O'Rourke. We want to create a customer-centric culture and create an experience for our customers when they come in. Our ice cream in particular, you can get it other places, but I'm only aware of like one other place besides the Sugar Llama in the state of Oklahoma that you can get it. We actually ship it in from up north, but when it comes to our coffee, you cannot get Sugar Llama coffee anywhere else in the world. You might find a blend similar to it, but you're not going to get Sugar Llama coffee anywhere but a Sugar Llama. It is proprietary to us. We really actually want to get more involved within our community. It's not just about making money, but it's about serving our community and becoming a part of the community here.
A groundbreaking discovery in paleogenetics. Scientists have successfully recovered and sequenced the oldest known RNA from a 39,000-year-old woolly mammoth named Yucca, found frozen in Siberian permafrost. Unlike DNA, which provides the blueprint of life, RNA gives insight to what genes were doing at the time of death. In Yucca's case, researchers found evidence of muscle stress responses and metabolic activity in the final moments of this young mammoth. This discovery shatters the long-held belief that RNA degrades rapidly after death. Under the right preservation conditions, like the Siberian permafrost, RNA can survive tens of thousands of years, opening a new window into the biology of extinct animals.
If you didn't know, today is kind of a big deal. It's National Pickle Day. Every year on November 14th, pickle lovers from coast to coast pop open jars and enjoy everything from classic dill spears to sweet or spicy variants. The holiday honors the humble pickle and its long history of preservation, flavor, and culinary creativity dating back thousands of years. If you're looking for a way to celebrate, here's some ideas. You could try a new variety of pickle you haven't had before. Maybe add pickles to a sandwich, burger, or snack. Remember, go big with the brine. And if you really want to get into the pickle world, Jimmy John's is giving out BOGO Pickle Witches. No matter how you celebrate, be sure to use the hashtag National Pickle Day. Now, Kendall, I myself despise pickles, but what about you?
You don't have to be so sour about it, Tyler. I love pickles, and I will be going to Jimmy John's right after this.
You do that.
What about you, Will?
You know, guys, I don't hate pickles. I like them in things more, you know, like put them on a burger. Even like a nice relish is nice. But we're all going to be wanting to relish this warm weather as we get a little cooler throughout the week in our 7-day forecast. Now, today our high was 80 degrees, and tomorrow it's going to be 81. But as we get into Sunday, we're going to see our high is going to drop to 74, even though those clouds are going to dissipate a little bit to open up some room for the sun. Now, as we get into Monday, those temperatures are going to rise back up with a high of 81. And by Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be looking at about an average high of 68 and a low anywhere from the high 40s to the low 50s, and with those clouds going on. And on Thursday as well as Wednesday, we're going to be seeing some chances of rain. Even though the temperatures are going to be staying in the mid to high 60s, there will be some chances of rain as we get later in the day. Now, Tyler, why are you so adamant about your dislike of pickles?
Listen, pickles are just, they don't do it for me. They're gross. I don't like them. The flavor, the texture, none of it. Now, I will say the most horrific thing I've ever heard about pickles comes from none other than Zach Berger sitting on the end of the desk here, who tried to introduce me to bagged gas station pickles, which are one of the most heinous things I've seen personally.
Just a hater before he even tries.
That's
you know?
correct. That's 100%
Listen,
correct.
as someone who not only went but covered Pickle Fest here at OSU for 2 years,
here we go again.
I'm a vet, and listen, pickles are good. Okay. Listen, they're good.
All right, listen, you guys can stay wherever you want on the argument. I will stay firmly in the I don't like pickles category.
You know, but you don't dog them before you try it. But you get those gas station pickles, and you put them on nacho cheese Doritos.
This is why no one trusts you, Kevin.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's a look at today's headlines. Thank you for joining us.
Make sure to check out the Daily O next week for the latest happening here in Stillwater and across the state. For the Daily O, I'm Tyler Tripodi.
And I'm Kendall May Stark. Have a blessed night, everyone.
My wife lived east of here, about 35, 40 miles, something like that, over at Lamont. I was dating her from over at Alba when we were going to college. I knew about the well then. It was a great well. It was great water. I'd stop there, stick my head under it, wake up, drive on home, that kind of thing. And people talked about bottling this water. And so that's why I started thinking about doing that. And so in 2003, the property come up for sale. And so we started working on that, had the opportunity to buy it. The hopes are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. This company means a lot to me because I guess we started it from scratch. And to be able to have it where it's at today, I don't see this as the end at all. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Pecans are staple to Oklahoma. In fact, many of our native pecans come from trees that are older than Oklahoma statehood.
My father's the one that got us started into the pecan picking. I was probably 10 or 12 years old, and we started off with one little mechanical picker that you pulled behind a four-wheeler. Then we'd go home at night and we'd clean them on a TV tray. I guess watching my dad work hard when we were young, and people started trusting him and getting more and more groves, we just kept growing.
Being a relatively new and fresh company, we get to sit in the same room with people who have been a part of the Oklahoma economy for decades.
It's opened a lot of doors. It's gave us quite a bit of exposure, and I think people, will take a small company like us a little more serious. We're just going to continue growing as long as our community lets us and our customers keep on buying, and we'll see where it takes us.
Thank you for coming to Stay and Play Pet Resort. This is where we can board your pet at any time for your convenience and make them feel at home. We have 5 different kennels for your pet. We have luxury suites that come with TV, camera, fireplace. The webcam is at your free. We have Kitty City where you can board your cat for multiple different prices. Stay and Play Pet Resort offers a free chauffeur service. If you go to Baker Animal Clinic, you can drop your pet off anywhere between 7:30 a.m. and no later than 8 a.m. Stay and Play Pet Resort offers a game day sports package. For $37, you can drop your dog off during the game day as early as 7:30 in the morning. Policy states you do not have to pick up your pet up until 1 hour after the game. At Stay and Play Pet Resort, we thrive